Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Reddy from Reddy's Rides. Yes, I am here at Walker Ford like usual when I'm doing a Ford review, but this is a special one because we had some subscribers actually drive almost 2 hours to have their car reviewed here on Reddy's Rides. I definitely got to give a huge shout out to Tyler and Carl driving all that distance, bringing out this beautiful 2014 Mustang GT. They know, just like all of you know, that Mustangs are so popular, especially on the channel. And what's wonderful about them is you get a car and you don't leave it stock. You wanna put some of your own personality. You wanna make some changes. And that's the wonderful thing about a 2014 Mustang GT is that that's the last year of that chassis design. And you have a platform where you can make tons of changes and upgrades just like Carl did. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2014 Mustang and see what was changed, what was added, and what's so different. So right off the bat, the final year of the S197 2014 really has that classic retro Mustang style that goes all the way back to 1965, technically 1964 and a half. I really like what was going on with the headlight design back then, especially the white shows the lines of the colors. And I think what's really classic is that those fog lamps sort of like in the grille. Nice style that goes back all the way to the 60s. Now, one thing that Carl did, because we're talking about adding, making it your own, he took the Roush front splitter, added that splitter. Now, splitter works two different ways. It's definitely going to give you some nice look to it, but this splitter is actually functional. Jack Roush does not make parts that are just for show and no-go most of the time. This one, though, is going to give you extra downforce, and it fits it perfect. Another thing that's great is you still got some ground clearance here to where you're not going to scuff it every 5 seconds driving down the road, because this is Carl's daily driver. He has over 60,000 miles on this 2014. Another favorite of mine are the heat extractors. Now, if you come to Walker Ford, you'll notice that the hoods look different than this 2014. I really like the style of the heat extractor on the S197s, and I think you would agree with me. The flat black with the white, it just really pops. Now, as we come around the bend, we have some upgrades. He went with this American Muscle wheel. It's a GT350 style. And I'm telling you, when he rolled up, I actually thought he got me. I thought they were GT350 wheels right off a Shelby GT350, but this is a 19-inch wheel. Love the design, and it just gives that little extra something. Now, if you're wondering, well, hold on a second. The fender and the top of the tire seems to be a little close. Yes, he went ahead, did some lowering springs. You're looking at about a 2-inch drop. Fits it perfect to a T. Really like the style. Up front, 255 on the width, 50 series sidewall. Really sets it off. Now, as we go down the side, he decided to black out the 5.0. Remember, underneath that hood, that Coyote engine has that wonderful V8 sound. And 5.0, it goes all the way back to the Fox body days. Really, really wonderful. Down the side, continuing the lines, and I think another one of my favorite things about the S197 is the rear quarter window. I really think that this shape is spot on to that classic style. And then when we focus on the rear, we're talking about a little bit more rubber to meet the road, because obviously this is a rear-wheel drive car. You get on throttle, just like that person just did. You get on throttle, you want to get the traction to the ground. This is a 275 width tire. So we're talking about 275 compared to a 255. Now, you're probably saying, well, Joe, why not put 275s on the front? That's actually going to hurt your steering. You don't want too wide of a tire up front because that's going to slow down the steering. A little bit more narrow, a little bit wider in the back, get traction to the ground. Coming out to the rear, so far, if you've been keeping track, the changes, we got that Roush splitter, we got these GT350 style wheels. Here's another thing that he wound up adding. This is a spoiler off of the California Special. So very nice style. I like the way it's a quad pedestal. Now, if you're wondering what the heck am I talking about, right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's your quad pedestal. You come down, flat black, he went on the GT logo, and this is where they had that simulated fuel cap design. A lot of people say that this is probably one of the best designs of recent years of a Mustang. I'm gonna have to agree, especially with the LED brake lights, that tri-bar system, and then you could see the finished off exhaust. He's running these Flowmaster exhausts out the back, but that's not the only story about the exhaust. Let's go ahead, pop the hood, and see some of the changes that he made, because I'm telling you, when we start this Mustang up, it's gonna sound like no other. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on this 2014 Mustang GT. I really think that Ford did such a better job with the plastic cover, with that intake plenum, than even compared to the new Mustangs. But what you're looking at on this S197 is that 5-liter V8 from the factory stock. You're looking at 420 horsepower, 390 pound-feet of torque. This Mustang GT weighs around 3,500 pounds, but here's where there's some changes to the engine. He's got JBA long tube headers, an off-road X pipe, and then with no resonators, and then of course those Flowmaster outlets out back. What that's gonna allow him to do is have a freer breathing exhaust system that's gonna let this Coyote engine sound like no other. But if you're ready, I'm ready for that moment. Let's fire up this Mustang. All right, guys, we got Carl's 2014 Mustang GT idling here. You hear that rumble. You feel that tradition going all the way back to the 1960s. Seating position is really easy to get to. You have electric assist on the bottom, manual for the back, and then you have a full, just like today, round steering wheel, but you have the classic pony instead of the newer style pony. If you look at the instrumentation, it's all tied back to the 1960s, that classic analog look. Even the script on the numbers is spot on to what it was like back in the 1960s. One of my favorite parts about an S197 is the hood. I love the raised hood section. Really gives it that nice muscle car feel. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Carl said, let's go. Let's take this for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Walker Ford. I have Carl and Tyler in the car with me. We are going to do a little bit of an acceleration test, just a slow roll, nothing crazy, just to hear that exhaust on throttle. The sound of that V8 pumping through, you don't have to worry. That's not simulated sound that's pumped in through the speakers. That was nothing but pure Ford V8 power through those long tube headers. No resonators, nothing, right out those Flowmaster mufflers. And it's cool because for me, this is kind of reminding me back to when I was younger, because Flowmaster was one of the companies that everybody went to. I had Flowmasters on cars from the past. This car has Flowmaster. So it really, Flowmasters have a unique sound to it, which is very interesting, very different. Even when you go with other exhaust systems from other companies, very, very unique sound, and it just brings back so many memories. And I definitely want to thank Carl and Tyler for making the journey, coming out. Plus, on top of that, you know, supporting the channel, being subscribers, and you know, stay tuned because they're going to be working on a channel of their own. And this has been an experience to kind of let them see behind the scenes, well, what really happens on Rady's Rides when we're doing filming and whatnot. All right, guys, that 6-speed automatic definitely doing the business. We're just cruising right now at about 35 on throttle, drop down, here we go. That sound of that V8. As we're coming on the highway here, you're definitely not gonna have any problems in any 2014 Mustang GT getting up to speed and getting into traffic. This thing is so well put together by Carl. He really picked the options for the whole exhaust system, put those components perfectly together. And that sometimes is the issue, is you start doing mods and you start piecemealing all these different brands. I think it was very smart to stick to just a couple and get that all together in a nice cohesive package. But really, at the end of the day, overall, this thing is so smooth to drive. The seats, I think they're even more comfortable than the current Mustang. And definitely that sound, when you want to get on it, it goes. Just the sound of that V8. Wow, 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 wow. That's what it's all about. The channel wasn't started for me just to review cars or whatever, even talk about my own car. I want to share my passion with people that also have the passion, and definitely Carl and Tyler coming all this way and allowing me to take his baby for a spin, to have it on Rady's Rides. Not only does that mean a lot to me, but it's great to share the passion with other people who have the passion as well. But we're gonna go ahead, just like all good things, sometimes they must come to an end. We're gonna go ahead and get back to Walker Ford, do the wrap up, and take some pictures and send Carl and Tyler back home and thank them for their great journey. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a wonderful time, not only with this Mustang, but it's so great. I love to be able to meet you guys and girls in person. Wonderful that Tyler and Carl came all the way out to Clearwater to have their car featured. One of my goals of the channel as we move along is hopefully I could visit other cities and other states around the country to have your vehicles featured as well. But definitely with this Mustang GT, Carl has proven that it's a perfect platform for you to do your mods and have something so personal to you. But of course I gotta thank Carl and Tyler and his girlfriend that came all the way out, 2-hour drive almost, to Clearwater. If this is the type of stuff that you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, sweating out in the Florida sun, but he's loving it because guess what? He's losing weight for his competitions to stay in that weight class. Good job, Tom, as always. And just like always as well, I'll see you on the next ride.